thing. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Spiritual Mind Healing service coming to you from the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living here in Kingston, Jamaica, where it is very hot, but it is very lovely. As we open with all things, let us begin with an affirmative prayer of oneness. Please join me. Right here in this moment of now, we recognize that there is one power, one presence, one life which we live and which lives through us in this now moment. This is the only time there is, this moment and this moment. So we release all anxiety about the day, we release all expectations of tomorrow, and we simply are present to this experience of this Tuesday evening healing service that comes to you in this moment. So I recognize that each person who is tuned in because they want to be here. And for that, I'm truly grateful. And I know that the words that are spoken, the ideas that are expressed, are exactly what everyone needs to hear so that they can come into the fullness of a well-lived technicolor life. I give thanks that all this is now so, and so it is. Okie doke. My talk this evening is entitled Living in Technicolor. I was going to start with my song Dare to Dream, but I'll spare you that for the moment. But I could just as easily have called this talk Dare to Dream. I was inspired by the biblical story of Joseph, son of Jacob, otherwise known as Israel, and his Technicolor coat. The Metaphysical Bible Dictionary indicates that the significant meaning of the name Joseph is the imagination, the increasing power of the mind, which is the state of consciousness in which we increase along all lines. He was clothed, gifted with a coat of many colors, which symbolizes the gifts of God, such as grace, power, and love. In the Bible story, Joseph thrived in spite of his brother's jealousy and betrayal, in spite of Pharaoh's wife's false accusations, in spite of being imprisoned. His was a story of perseverance, trust, and never giving up on his dreams. You've heard me often say we come to this teaching either through desperation or inspiration. The truth is, we're propelled either by pain or possibility. However, whatever we do or pursue can never be about our good alone. Success doesn't happen in isolation. For instance, Joseph's success and triumph were predicated on forgiveness of his brothers and reconciliation with his family and making himself a valuable asset to Pharaoh. Now we, individually, are all points of light in the prism of life. That's prism, not prison. We are a pebble that creates a ripple in the pond, and this can generate a tsunami of change. Now, if that sounds like a big order, it is, and it is our own possibility. Living in Technicolor is not a lukewarm pastel gray existence. Dare to dream. Wrapped in the diverse gifts of God, such as grace, power, love, light, peace, and joy, we too can persevere and rise in faith to fulfill our destiny. Question: do you know what your destiny is? Without overthinking and analyzing, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you dream your Technicolor life? That's a real question. Write down your answer. Don't think about it too much. Now ask yourself, what story have I been telling myself that keeps that life away from me? Write that down. Don't think too hard about it. Write down the first thing that comes to your mind. Is fear a part of that story? Possibly, more than likely. Really take a look at what emotions are being triggered. Not to hug them up and cause distress, but just to be aware in a detached way. Write down what comes to mind, just so you can look at it in your private moments. Not to cause distress, but just to be aware. We can either act from fear and run and hide, or we can use the same fear to catapult us into an inspired life experience where we fearlessly channel the gifts that make us who we uniquely are. Our faculty of imagination is limitless. The wisdom that created us is infinite, formless, eternal. Whatever stories we have been told by parents, caregivers, teachers, friends, any authority figure that you've listened to, any newscast that touched a nerve, any Facebook or YouTube post that resonated with the you of that moment, depicts a world we no longer occupy in this moment. So can you identify some stories you're still hanging on to that no longer serve you? If you choose to, you can put it in the chat. Now recognize that there is no wrong choice in the larger scheme of things. If you knew better in the moment of choice, you would have chosen differently. However, now, right now, is a new possibility. Once you decide, and only you can decide, what has value for you, now is a new moment, a new possibility for a new choice. That choice can and will change as you change and grow into your full potential. Ignore other people's choices. That's not your business. Those choices are not yours and were never meant for you. Comparison can be a real dream killer. So we must learn to cultivate the confidence to trust your own gut and recognize you don't need anybody's permission to be your wonderful, wonder-filled self. Everything and everyone can be a teacher if you're willing to listen. So listen. There's always that still small voice saying, this is the way, walk in it. There's an acronym I came across that came out of a retreat a couple of years ago. Now, if you remember who said it, please put it, tell me, because to be honest, I don't remember where it came from or who said it. Please forgive me. But it says, RAIN. R, recognize the emotion that's being triggered. A, accept the existence of the story. I, investigate the story dispassionately. Don't get involved in it, okay? Just be aware of it. And N, nullify the importance of the story by non-identification with it. It's just a story. Now, like Joseph in the biblical story, we can choose to thrive even in the face of adversity and extreme challenge. Now is the best time to be uniquely you. This is a quote, and I don't remember who said it either, but it's wonderful. The realm of banal mediocrity is flooded. In other words, no matter, just choose to be you instead. Like I said, everybody else is already taken, so you might as well be you. Approach life with a commitment to passion and excellence. Gretchen Rubin, writing in her book, Secrets of Adulthood, says, and I quote, Whenever we choose one path, we must forego other paths. So any choice may bring unavoidable regret. If you move to Colorado, you can't also be in New York City. Trade-offs and compromises are inevitable. But not choosing is also a choice. You have to make the choice mindfully. End quote. So say, I am an evolutionary visionary and I envision limitless opportunities for expansion and growth. And if somebody can write quick, you can write it in the chat so people can have it in front of them, or write it down wherever you are. I am inseparably connected to the universal good, so I am not afraid to look beyond accustomed boundaries and barriers. I am unfolding into my best self with certainty and grace. I like how Rumi puts it. Says, sell your cleverness and buy bewilderment. And remember, have fun along the way. Joy is one of the highest expressions of God. So go add some color to your life. Namaste. Are there any thoughts anybody would like to express? I'm not seeing anything in the chat so far. Any thoughts anybody has? Any messages that you have been hugging up and carrying around with you like old baggage and yesterday's news?
I am breaking the ice. I always don't like to be the first to speak, but I want everybody to understand that, boy, there is we all have dreams. And, the dream of having a book is something that has been with me for decades. And the thought that always kept it away from me is the fact that, or the thinking that, only other people write books. Other people, well-known people. There's something different about the author, and I'm not that.
And who will want to read what you write anyway?
So it's just something that kept it at bay. And then trying to clear out my cabinet about 7 or 8 years ago, and I saw the pile of about a 4-inch folder full of Sunday talks. And I was really hard pressed to throw them away, even though I had them all electronically. And that was the genesis of my book. And not that all what's in the book is all of what I've written. I've sort of taken much liberty with my life and woven it into the book. But there's just a sense now it's almost ready for publication. That, my God, I did this. That the sense of my color, all of that inside of me has now manifest in this work. I call it my opus firstus. And I've gotten really good feedback from my editor and from persons with whom I've shared, particularly the person I asked to write the foreword. And I mean, I'm encouraged, but it shouldn't take what other people think to make us feel that we're good enough. I had to go through that myself. I had to make the choice that writing what, or letting the music, like Benjamin Disraeli talks about, I don't want to die with the music still inside me. And that was part of the music that was inside me. And I was happy to let it out, and I want you all to think about it, whether it's poetry or an invention you might have, or somewhere you might want to go. Just don't let it die. Don't let your life end without you getting that. Allowing yourself to express the color, the technicolor awesomeness that God has blessed you with.
Exactly. Thank you for that, Sandy. And also remember, life is not static. So you have had some wonderful things happen prior to now. That don't mean that you don't have any more wonderful things to have happen. And you could be taken in a completely new direction too, you know? Um, but a lot of the times fear is what holds us back. And I'm speaking personally now, where I feel myself transitioning away from my jewelry work, and it is very scary because, hey, I've been doing this for what, 40 years, you know, but I'm feeling myself being moved in a different direction. And so it's about just allowing myself to go there without knowing how it's going to turn out. I mean, when I started whatever the jewelry was 40 years ago, I didn't know where that was going to take me either. But I went along and it took me to places that I didn't know I could have gone. So it's taken me a while to wrap my head and my heart around the idea that a new pathway is being opened up and I just need to follow and not let fear stop me in my tracks. So that's my story. Yes, Michael, Jamaica is very lovely. And living in Jamaica, we're living in Technicolor all the time. Every season has a color that we can revel in.
Mhm. Can I just throw another little thing in the mix? Carol, this whole business of age. Of age. It is one of, if I were to really chronicle my feelings about age and aging, oh my gosh, that is an aspect of fear, or something that generates fear. At least it does for me. I'm seeing my body change. I've been saying that, I feel vibrant and alive, and I still ideate and imagine and all those wonderful things, but it's like my body didn't get the memo, or, the knees and the shoulder and the other different body parts are, maybe seeming to lag behind. And, how much time do I have left? Will I get this done? When you think of relationship, those of us who are single, as a single person, who's going to want a person my age, blah, blah, I need us to really, really appreciate that this is just a stage of life and we are all going to die. I am going to die.
Yeah, none of us get out of here alive.
No.
So we just have to live until we die.
Yes, so
right? And the thing is, the fact that the body is changing is not necessarily a bad thing. All of us in this age group, but except for Chima, need to learn to simply embrace where we are right now. It's neither bad nor good. It's just where we are right now, and it deserves as much love as when we were in our 20s with perky boobs and legs that went from here to forever, right? The body still needs our love.
mm, yep.
Anybody else? What are some of the things that you think, besides Sandy, what are some of the things that you were told that when you were growing up that may still be holding you back? Okay, great. Nothing is holding you back. Go. Let's go for it. Let's go. Yes, Michael, you're asking, am I moving into the world of words like Sandy? That,
Yeah.
that's one off.
Ah, oh,
One
okay.
off. I'm not
Okay,
as far ahead as Sandy is,
okay.
but it's one up. Rain, sure. It's RAIN, and it is, go to my notes now. R is to recognize the emotion that's triggered. You're writing this down, Don? Maybe I could write it in the chat. Let's see. R. Oops, lie. That is supposed to be impassionately.
I'm not seeing it, Carol.
I haven't
What?
sent it yet, but I'm
Oh,
writing
oh,
it in the text.
oh, okay.
Okay, you should be seeing it now.
Anybody see it? I don't.
You looking in the chat?
Yes, it's there.
Oh, okay, okay. I don't see.
Okay. So are we ready for some treatments now?
Health for me. Oh, yes. Recognize the emotion triggered, accept the story, investigate the story
That's supposed-
passionately.
Impassionate is what it's supposed to say. M didn't print.
Oh, okay. Oh, and non-identification of the story deflates. Okay, good. I'll remember that. That's nice. Could you do health for me, please, Carol?
Sure.
Thanks.
I don't know how to add to it, but there is something about reframing or create a new story that could make a difference. If we, because this story has been fueled by our thought. Oh, I think I'd shared that an emotion, something I was learning on the research around emotional intelligence. Every feeling that we have, something that, whether it's anger, sadness, or jealousy, or joy, whatever it is, in the moment, that feeling only has a life of 90 seconds. 90 seconds. And what keeps us angry, what keeps us sad, what keeps us over, jealous or whatever, is we fuel the emotion by the thinking that we bring to it.
By the retelling of the story.
And the retelling. So we retell it now with additional thinking, because that story now becomes real for us. We keep even telling ourselves the story.
And
again,
we add
over
passion
and over
to
and
it.
over. Yeah. Message from me. Stevie says that comparison is a great dream killer. And that was the phrase of the message for him. All right, all right. I'm going to
Stevie.
finish, sort out the slides while you
Yes.
look
So
at it.
any other requests? I have health from Michael.
Right action for Anne in the lives of the Roden family.
Oh, yes, I did see that.
Love and blessings all around us for Dawn and also healthy bodies. That's it so far.
Love and blessings and healthy bodies. That's it. Okie dokie. All right, well, if you have any others while we're doing this, just add them to the chat. I'm going to start off with the affirmative prayer of right action for the Roden family and for anyone else who would like an active rightness in their technical life. In this moment, there is God and only God. God is all there is. Therefore, I am knowing that there is nothing but God to experience. And God is the joy, the love, the grace, the power, the light, the joy that is inherent in us. So we open our minds now and we open our hearts for this activity of God to be present in our experience in right and perfect ways that instill in us the possibility of more and better and greater expression, of expansion of ideas, of the acceptance of rightness in all our affairs. I know this particularly for the Roden family, that right where they are, they know that they are embraced by the allness of God. I know this for every aspect of their experience now. There is not a place, there is not a spot, there is not an idea, there is not a thought that doesn't have God in it. Therefore, every idea, every aspect, every thought, every activity is filled with God right here and right now. It is filled with the rightness of God, bringing everything into clear focus so that understanding is brought to the forefront of their minds. I know that whatever needs to be known is known now in right and perfect ways, so that every activity in which they are involved reflects this knowing that the rightness of God permeates every facet of their experience. There is nothing to fear. There's nothing to doubt. There is only God to know and God to realize, as in make real in the experience of the Roden family. I know this to be the truth. And for anyone else who is in need of the recognition of the rightness of God's activity in their lives, this is the truth. God is all there is, and God is love. God is light. God is joy. God is peace. God is perfect right action. This is the life that we live as this life lives through us, as us. So I give thanks for this knowing as I release these words now into that infinite law, knowing that everything that I have spoken, every word is acted upon in right ways, that they are recognized as rightness. They're acted upon with clarity and focus and ease. And the results are perfect, right action for the Roden family and for everyone else who is tuned into the idea of rightness. God is, we are, and therefore all is perfectly well. I give thanks for this and I release these words now into that infinite law that has already done its work. I give thanks. So it is. And now, prayer of health for Reverend Michael and for Dawn. Let's see, there's 2 messages here. Health. Blessings. Okay. Okay, this is for health for Reverend Michael and for Dawn. And for anyone else who is tuned into health. God is health, vibrant, robust, active, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. Health is coursing through every aspect of our being. Every cell, every tissue, every function, every issue is alive with the knowing that the health that God is now making its presence felt through the experience of health. Healthy body, healthy mind, healthy activities, healthy relationships, healthy finances, health all around. There is health and only health being expressed right here and right now. We open our minds, we open our hearts to accept this health as ours to experience. So we know without a shadow of a doubt that from the crown of our heads down through to the soles of our feet and everything in between, health is. We stand in a radiance of health as it expresses unabashedly through our physical bodies, through all our affairs. We are healthy in mind, we are healthy in body, we're healthy in spirit. And our outward expression reflects this joyous health that is now coursing through our bodies. It is now finding its full and perfect expression through us, in us, as us. We stand as health. We move as health. We act as health. We speak health into every aspect of our bodies and our beingness. I know this to be true for Reverend Michael and for Dawn and for everyone else who is tuned into the idea of perfect health. God is the health that we are. God is the health that is expressing now through us, as us. And we move with ease and grace and alacrity. We breathe with effortless ease. And everything that we think is alive and redolent with healthy thoughts, healthy activities, healthy choices. Right where we are the divine expression of health. I give thanks for this knowing, and I release these words now, accepting health as our perfect expression right now, right here. Thank you, God, that this is already so. So it
And
is.
so it is.
Love and blessings all around. Okay, here's one. Gratitude from Stevie. Gratitude for my brothers Clifton and Norman, who are having a season of happiness in their family. Here's an affirmative prayer of gratitude.
It's from Elaine Johnson, actually.
Okay, that's right. It did say that. Prayer of gratitude. It is good to give thanks, because in that thanksgiving, we recognize that we are the beneficiaries of an ever-giving God, of an endless source of happiness and joy, and everything that we need to express at full potential. So we give thanks. We are eternally grateful to know that as we open ourselves to the expression of joy that God is, this gratitude simply radiates from us to touch everything and everyone in our atmosphere, to bring the joy and loveliness of God into our experience, to show the rest of the world, to show everyone in our world the meaning of living in gratitude and grace. So I know for Elaine's brothers, Clifton and Norman, this season of happiness is not just today. This season lasts for as long as they feel and express the joy and the happiness that is now making its presence felt in their lives and affairs. There really is only God expressing, and joy and gratitude are part of that expression. So we give thanks, and we smile at the grace that is bestowed. We bow at the knowledge, in acknowledgement of our receptivity, our deservedness to experience this joy. So I give thanks now. I give grateful thanks as I release these words now to that infinite law, being so grateful for everything that it brings, as happiness, as joy, as peace, as love. Thank you, God, that this is now so. So it is.
So it is.
Okay.
So it is. Thank you, Karen.
And now, love and blessings all around. God is. We recognize God as love. We recognize God as light. We recognize God as joy. We recognize God as peace. And in this recognition, we know that love abounds. Love is unlimited and boundless. And God's love is free. God's love is gifted to us. God's love is gifted through us so that we may pass it on to generate more love as we let it pour out of us, pour out of our hearts and our minds to fill the atmosphere. This love brings joy. This love brings healing. This love brings a sense of deservedness, of worth. And we are so blessed. We feel the blessings that this love brings. We embrace it. We allow it to become part of our experience. We know that love fills every aspect of our life's experience. It is that light that diminishes all shadows, that removes all doubt, that increases all blessings as it is shared. So we freely give as we receive, and we are open to receiving more of love. The more we receive is the more we have to share, and the more we share is the more we have to give. This is the truth about us. We live in a circulatory life that is celebrated as love in action. Because of this love, the blessings continue unabashed. The blessings overflow our experience. And we are so grateful. We live in joy. We celebrate in love all that life has to offer. We give thanks as we accept the blessings and share them freely and effortlessly, joyously with everyone in our atmosphere, so that all are blessed. I give thanks for this as I release these words into that infinite law that knows how to do this. And we let it be so now. So it is. Okay. Any more? No. Let's move into our announcements. I don't know if you have any slides for us, Sandy.
Something like that.
You're welcome, Dawn. All righty. Every Tuesday
Oh,
at 6 p.m. till 7:30, which is now. Remember that there is a grief support group facilitated by grief therapist Lorraine Jones Lawrence. This takes place in the book room. You just call the office if you want to participate in this meaningful exercise. And, fun day, family fun day coming up on July the 12th. And it's going to be Konoko Falls and Park. It's in Oterius, and I've never been there, but I hear it's quite wonderful. So Jennifer is the one who is spearheading this, maybe not spearheading, but she is arranging the tickets and the dates and the sign up and so on. So call the office if you want to sign up. If you've been to the fun day before, you know that it's a fun day. Or you can just let your hair down and have some fun. So save the date, July the 12th. Next week, join us again at 6 p.m. for our spiritual mind healing service next week, Tuesday, where Sandra Hooper, religious science practitioner, will be our speaker. Tune in. You know it's going to be special. And Prayer Par continues on Thursdays at 6 p.m. This is on Facebook. So come and be lifted up by the transformative power of God's love, light, peace, and joy. New class.
On Zoom, prayer power is Zoom.
Oh, Prayer Power is on Zoom. What did I say?
Facebook.
Oh, it's on Zoom. Coming up on Thursday, starting, it says mid-June. It doesn't say when mid-June.
so I think it's this Thursday.
Okay. Well, Steve, you would know.
Yeah, it's this Thursday.
Okay, so starting this Thursday,
Right.
7 to 9, again on Zoom, we're studying The Prospering Power of Love by Catherine Ponder. You can discover how to activate divine love as a powerful force for healing, prosperity, and transformation. It's a 6-week class, and it's facilitated by Reverend Sonia Davidson, assisted by practitioners Steve Golding and Vance Gardiner. Love offering donations are accepted at Temple of Light at donate.templeoflightcsl.org. So it should be a very interesting class. I have read this book and it's quite powerful. Prospering Power of Love. And if you feel moved to support our ministry, and if you have been moved this evening and feel like you would love to support our ministry, please feel free to donate at donate.templeoflightcsl.org. And as always, we thank you for your generosity and for helping us to be a beacon of light for the world. So if you're in this mindset now to give, let us do the affirmative prayer. Lovingly I give, joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. Thank you, Father. And so it is. Go ahead and press that button. This is the prayer of our center. You can say it together or say it on your own. The Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is indeed. And the prayer of Jamaica. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life which set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established. And so it is. Before I close out, are there any thoughts that anyone would like to share? Any demonstrations? Any feelings? Any ideas? No? Okay, then. Please join me in a closing affirmative prayer. What a joy it has been this evening to share ideas, thoughts, confidences, and dreams. I know that right where we are in exactly the right place that we need to be for the manifestation of the dreams that we hold the deepest in our hearts. As we embrace the possibility of a technicolor life, we open ourselves to the inflow of every God idea that can elevate us to express at our full potential, to live joyful, joy-filled, colorful life. I know that right where we are, right here and right now, we know the truth about who we are. We know the truth about our experience. We know the truth about God. God in us, as us, is us. So every quality of God is ours to use and to express. As we leave this meeting this evening, we go as God. We go as one in God. And we go to express God in all the best ways that we know how. This is our time to be. We give thanks for this knowing now. And we simply surrender to the idea that God in us, as us, is us. And all is perfectly well. Thank you, God, for choosing us. So it is.
And so it is. Thanks, Cara. Lovely service.
You're most welcome. All righty. Bye.